Have you ever been abused, physically or emotionally, and still stuck in there? Have you ever found yourself constantly walking on eggshells around someone you love? Do you feel drained after every conversation, doubting your worth, questioning your sanity, wondering if you're the problem? Let me tell you a true story. Sarah, a bright, confident woman in her late 20s, once believed she had met the love of her life. At first, Tom was amiable, loving, and attentive. He texted her good morning every day, showed up with flowers, and made her feel like the center of the universe. But slowly the charm faded and was replaced by subtle attacks on her self-esteem. He began controlling who she talked to and made her feel guilty for spending time with friends. Dismissed her feelings with statements like, "You're too sensitive. That's not what I meant. You're imagining things." Sarah often felt small within herself, making her apologize constantly, second-guess every word she said, and question whether she was overreacting. Until one night, after another argument over something trivial, she locked herself in the bathroom, looked in the mirror and whispered, "Where did I go?" That moment was her awakening, the realization that she had lost her power, her voice, and her sense of self in a toxic relationship disguised as love. If this sounds even a little too familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people are trapped in emotionally damaging relationships, not because they're weak, but because they're human, hopeful, and sometimes afraid to set the boundaries that could save them. Welcome to the Passion Bond, where we dive deep into the truths of love, connection, and healing. And in today's video, we're dealing with one of the most delicate and confusing situations in a relationship. Are you trapped in a toxic relationship? Ask yourself. Dealing with a toxic relationship affects both genders, but the female gender take more of the heat. To uncover the subtle signs of toxicity, we are exploring why it's so hard to leave and aiming to provide you with tools to set firm, life-saving boundaries that help you reclaim your peace, power, and identity. Because real love doesn't suffocate, it supports. And today, you're going to learn how to break free. Trapped in a toxic relationship? Here's how to take your power back. Let's start by understanding what a toxic relationship looks like. 1. Understanding toxic relationships. A toxic relationship isn't always loud, violent, or abusive in noticeable ways. Many are subtle, emotional warfare masked behind love, concern, or control. Toxic relationships often involve one person dominating the other, using guilt, shame, or fear to maintain control. These dynamics can manifest in various ways: constant criticism, belittling comments, passive-aggressive behavior, jealousy and possessiveness, gaslighting or denial of your reality, emotional manipulation and guilt-tripping, isolation from friends and family, or even a persistent feeling drained after interacting with the person. Imagine this scenario of Sarah and Tom. Over time, after 2 years together, things began to change. Tom started criticizing Sarah's appearance, questioning her decisions, and making her feel guilty for spending time with her friends. He expresses his feelings dissuasively, saying, "I just care about you. That's why I don't want you to hang out with those people." On the surface, it sounded like concern, but deep down, Sarah felt her independence slipping away. She started doubting herself, constantly walking on eggshells around Tom, trying to avoid his anger or disapproval. This is a classic example of a toxic relationship where one partner's behavior diminishes the other's self-worth. It's crucial to understand that toxicity isn't always deliberate. Sometimes it stems from a partner's unresolved trauma, insecurity, or lack of emotional maturity. But no matter the cause, you deserve to feel safe, seen, and respected. 2. Why it's hard to leave. You might ask, if it's so bad, why not just leave? But the truth is, toxic relationships often come with emotional hooks: love bombing, apologies, promises of change, and guilt-laden manipulation. These cycles of abuse and affection can create confusion and emotional dependency. You might confuse chaos with passion or believe their anger is your fault. Like Sarah, many people stay in relationships hoping for change. Remember this: patterns speak louder than promises. If hurtful behavior repeats despite apologies, it's not love, it's control. 3. The impact of toxic relationships. The effect of a toxic relationship can be profound. It can lead to emotional and psychological distress, manifesting as anxiety, depression, or even physical health issues. Over time, constant negativity can wear down your self-esteem, making you feel unworthy of love and respect. You may find yourself isolated from those who care about you, trapped in a cycle of trying to please the other person while losing sight of your needs and desires. Returning to Sarah's story, she began to notice changes in herself. She was once confident, outgoing, and full of life. But now she felt anxious and second-guessing every decision she made. She started avoiding her friends, too embarrassed to explain why she couldn't meet them. Her work focus and productivity declined because she was constantly preoccupied with Tom's demands and criticisms. Sarah was stuck in a toxic circle where her emotional well-being was tied to Tom's approval, a dangerous place. But here's the crucial part. Recognizing that you're in a toxic relationship is the first step towards reclaiming your life. 4. Recognizing the need for boundaries. Setting boundaries is essential in any healthy relationship, but it's especially critical when dealing with toxicity. Boundaries are not about building walls to shut people out. They are filters that protect what matters to you. They teach others how to treat you. They help create a space to breathe, think, and feel safe. Boundaries protect your emotional well-being and allow you to maintain your identity and self-worth. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. It says, I matter. My emotions matter. My peace matters. In Sarah's case, she realized she needed to establish boundaries to protect herself from Tom's toxic behavior. But setting boundaries can be incredibly challenging, especially when you're in a relationship where the other person is used to having control. It's important to remember that boundaries are not about punishing the other person. They're about taking care of yourself. Here are some signs that you need to set boundaries. 1. You feel emotionally drained after interactions. If every conversation or interaction leaves you exhausted, it's a sign that your emotional energy is depleted. 2. You constantly prioritize the other person's needs over your own. When your needs are consistently ignored or belittled, it's time to create space for yourself. 3. You feel guilty for saying no. Saying no feels impossible without fear of retribution, but you must speak it to create that needed boundary. You don't have to be guilty for saying no. 5. How to set boundaries. Setting boundaries can feel frightening, but it's a crucial step in protecting your well-being. Here's how you can start. 1. Identify your limits. Reflect on the behaviors that you consider unacceptable or harmful. They could be verbal abuse, constant criticism, or even emotional manipulation. 2. Communicate clearly and assertively. When setting a boundary, it's vital to be clear and direct. By stating how you feel and what you need, use I statements to express yourself. For example, I feel disrespected when you criticize me in front of others, and I need that to stop. 3. Stay firm in your decisions. Toxic individuals often test your boundaries, trying to push them back. It's essential to be firm and not waver, even if they react negatively. 4. Prepare for resistance. When you set boundaries, the other person might resist or react angrily. This is common, especially in toxic relationships where control is an issue. Stand your ground and remember why these boundaries are necessary for your well-being. 5. Seek help if needed. Spend time with friends or family who support you and understand your situation. If you need extra help, consider talking to a therapist or counselor for guidance and strength. Returning to Sarah's story, she set clear boundaries with Tom. She told him constant criticism was unacceptable and that she needed space to reconnect with her friends and hobbies. Tom reacted angrily, accusing Sarah of being selfish and ungrateful. But Sarah stood her ground. She realized his reaction was a sign that she was doing the right thing. Over time, Tom's power over her diminished as she became more confident in asserting her needs. 6. The path to healing and moving forward. Setting boundaries in a toxic relationship is a powerful act of self-care, and it's just the beginning. Healing from the emotional wounds inflicted by such relationships takes time and effort. Give yourself dignity and patience as you navigate this journey. Here are some recovery steps to help you move on positively. 1. Reconnect with yourself. Take some time to rediscover who you are outside of the relationship. You can only derive joy, happiness, and satisfaction when you engage in various development activities, such as hobbies, exercises, and much more. 2. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and understand those feelings that can help you recover by comforting yourself that it's okay to feel hurt, angry, or sad. 3. Let go of guilt. Toxic relationships often leave you feeling guilty for prioritizing your own needs. You are important to yourself. Remember, it is essential and not selfish to take care of yourself. 4. Rebuild your support network. Reconnect with friends and family members who uplift and support you. Surround yourself with positive influences. 5. Consider professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide valuable insights and strategies for healing. They can also help you build resilience and prevent future toxic relationships. Sarah's story didn't end in that bathroom. She decided to reclaim her life. She started setting boundaries. She noticed a positive change in her life. She reconnected with old friends, picked up hobbies she had abandoned, and started feeling more like herself again. The journey wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt and fear, but with each step, she regained her strength and sense of self-worth. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of boundaries in reclaiming your life from toxicity. Dealing with toxic relationships and setting boundaries is a challenging task. You don't need permission to take your power back. If someone constantly makes you feel confused, guilty, or small, it's okay to say, enough. Remember, you deserve to be in relationships that uplift and support you, not ones that drain and diminish you. If you're in a toxic relationship, take the first step today. Identify your boundaries and start setting them. It may be challenging, but your well-being is worth the effort. Set the boundaries that guard your peace. Value yourself enough to let go of what causes you pain. And surround yourself with the kind of love that doesn't demand your silence, but celebrates your truth. Because the moment you decide you are worthy of more, that's when the healing starts. Thank you for watching The Passion Bond. If this video connects with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll offer more insightful content on love and relationships. Always remember that you are not alone. You are stronger than you realize. You deserve love and respect. Never settle for anything less. Stay strong, stay empowered, and always protect your peace.